Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today I'm going to be tying for you a blue wing olive. It's winter, or fall time, getting to winter time, and so it's blue wing time. So today I'm going to be tying this on a TMC 100. I'm going to start my shear 14-aught, about an eye length back. This is in olive. I'm going to go about midway down the hook and then bring it back up. Now for my wings, I'm going to be using a Hebert Minor hen cape. And I'm going to try and find a couple of feathers that are about the same size. They usually, when you're looking for them, you want to kind of try and find some that are close to the hook gap as you can get. A little bit wider, it's not going to be too big of a deal. They're normally about right next to each other. I'm just going to pluck those right off. Now you can tell these things have a curve to them. And the curve side, we're going to want to put those together so it'll be shiny side to shiny side. And if you recall me showing you the cape, what you were looking at was the shiny side. So I'm going to measure those wings about as long as the hook here, or maybe a little bit shorter than the hook. And I'm going to try and even those tips up. Now, if you look, those are pretty much even. But you can adjust by just sliding your fingers back and forth to adjust how you want those to be. You want to get them as even as you can. So once I have my measurement, I'll transfer that to my non-material hand, as you can see. And then I'll come in and I'll cut those straight across. Now I normally save those butt ends because you can tie wet flies with them and stuff like that, and they work really well. So from here you can kind of back that off, push it out just a little bit, grab those tips and just pull them right out. Then what I'll do is I'll grab both the hook and the tips in one wrap of thread, pull it straight down. So it's one, I'll give it a second wrap, and then I'll let go. And then what you can do is you can take a reference hook and measure it. But I only have like a reference fly, I guess. So we'll just kind of take a look. Looks to be about right. So from there, I'm going to leave those wings canted forward because I'm going to go ahead and go back and tie my tail. And the reasoning behind that is because I'm going to tie in this goose biot, and I want to be able to let that biot go about as far forward without impacting those wings as much as possible. Now I'm going to take some fibers off of a spade hackle, off of the same cape that I'm going to tie the hackle with, or up here at the front. Now, a spade hackle is found on the side edges of your cape. And as you can see, I took two wraps around to secure it. And then, I didn't like my sizing, so I made it a little longer. And then I took 2 additional wraps just to make sure that the tail could tie in. And then I went under all those fibers, and I'll pull this thread up to lock everything in. And then I'll make one wrap. And that does sometimes splay those tails, and that's fine because I don't mind it being splayed. Now when you tie in your biot, if you have a one that's cut off of a wing like this and you don't know whether it was a left wing or a right wing, that's okay. We're going to go by the notch. So with these smaller flies, you'll get a biot that looks like this, right? There's the base, goes all the way up to the tip. Normally the tip is a lot thinner than it is down here at the base. You can see those get a lot thicker. And so I'm using a tip section, and I just cut it out. That way it's easier for me to pull free. And when you pull free, you'll get a notch. And either that notch is going to go up or the notch is going to go down. Now from here, I'll give you an example. I'm going to go ahead and tie this in notch up just to show you. It depends on how you want your ridge. If you want ridge, then you let the biot tell you if it's going to ridge or not. So I've got it tied in notch up, and as I wrap this biot, as I go forward, that ridge is not leading. And so if I wanted a ridge fly, that would be fine, but I don't. So I'm going to slowly back this off. And actually I just slipped out, which is fine. So I wasn't really wanting to tie it in that way. So I'm going to angle this notch down. That way when I tie this biot in, that ridge will lead, and that following edge will tie or will push it down. And as I bring those tails up, I'll just kick them back, come in and cut them out. And now that I know that my ridge is down and my biot will wrap the way I want it, I'll go ahead and get myself a little Sally Hansen's and just put a touch of glue right there at the back. Maybe a tad too much. I'll just touch it with my finger to pull some off. Go ahead with my hackle pliers, grab that tip, being very careful not to break this dude. I'll go ahead and start to wrap my biot. And as I wrap, that following edge will push down the ridge, giving me a nice smooth body as I move forward. I'm getting some ridge, but it's definitely not what it would have been if I had done it that way. It's not as smooth as I'd like it, but sometimes those biots don't listen to you. Anyway, from there, I'm going to go ahead and kick my wings up, get my thread up to the back of them, and I'm just going to build a slight dam to kind of kick those wings up. Oh, my biot broke. Okay, so from there, I'm just going to try and grab it with my thread and secure it. So I got lucky on that one. Not gonna lie, I was a little worried whenever I saw that, but I did get lucky. Then from there, let's see, where did I set? There we go. I'll grab my pre-selected whiting hackle that I sized. I'll go ahead and pull some fibers off the end here and tie that in with the shiny side towards me. That one little dude wants to give me fits, so I'll just come in, pluck him out. That little end up with my finger, nick it out with the tip of my scissors, and then tie it down. Now from here, I'll go ahead and start my hackle. Since I had that little extra bit of bare stem, it's going to allow me to start my wrap correctly. And I like to get about 3 behind. I'll pull those wings back. And I'll try to get 2 in front. Come straight up on after that second wrap, come straight down. I'll get 3 wraps, and you can see all those that would normally, if you tried to cut the stem, you'll see those fibers that want to stick out to the front. I don't like those, so I'm going to try to follow that natural movement of the feather where it's tied in and cut them all out at once. I missed one, that's okay. Come in, clean it up. And from there, I'll kick everything back, tie that end down. And from here, I'll go ahead and whip finish, so 3 wraps right on top of each other. See if I can catch that end. 3 wraps right on top of each other. That's a little ugly, so I'm going to do one more. Try and clean things up. There we go. Come in and cut that thread out. Now what I'll do is I'll preen those feathers, those fibers back forward. Get them looking right, then I can come in with my scissor tips, split those wings. Just give them a little pressure. And there you have it. There's your blue wing olive. Head on, it's not quite like I would want it. And if I was really picky, I'd come in and try and clean that up with a pair of scissors, but I'm not being too picky right now. Let me know what you guys think. Thank y'all for watching the channel, and twist some up and give them a go.